are you going to get the most money for your property? A big part of that answer lies in how many people actually see the house. Let's market your property in a way that exposes you to thousands of potential buyers in the first week to 2 weeks that it's on the market. Gone are the days where you just open the door for an open house, put a cheap flyer in the front yard, run a print ad in the local paper, and hope and wish and pray that someone writes you an amazing offer. Selling a home is a multi-dimensional effort using all kinds of resources in order to expose the house so that it sells for top dollar. Thanks for joining me. I'm Crystal Glenning. I'm a realtor here in Southern California, and I specialize in luxury residential real estate sales. I have a plan to market your home so that every potential buyer in your price range is exposed to the property. There's 2 phases to this marketing strategy. One is the pre-marketing phase, what happens before you go on the market. 2, the marketing once we launch your property as live on the market. How we handle each of these phases will make a difference in how people perceive your property and what their first impression will be. Each of these phases is strategically planned and executed. We're not flying by the seat of our pants here. We have proven systems in place. Let's start with the pre-launch phase. We want to set a precedent prior to going on the market. There is so much to be done in the pre-launch phase, and this is not to be taken lightly. Many of these efforts are repeated, and I go even bigger when it goes live on the market, but let's walk through this step by step. Step 1, while we're getting the house ready for sale, we can go into what's called a coming soon status. This allows us to actively market your property until we're ready to go live on the market. During this time, we can't allow anyone in for showing. However, we can start to drive traffic to the property virtually. Many times coming soon includes 1 or just a few photos. Even with that, it's put into the multiple listing service or the MLS. The MLS is a realtor's website that introduces your house and all of its amenities and statistics. It then floods into syndicated websites like a Zillow.com, a Realtor.com, or even a Compass.com, where it shows it off to the public, primarily anyone that's interested in purchasing a property. We can put it into social media as well, which alerts the public that it'll be available soon. And this starts to generate a buzz around your property, which is the goal, right? Step 2, we network with agents that may have buyers that are already qualified and make a good fit for your home. My team has a track record of almost 2 decades of networking, so we know a lot of agents up and down the coast. Having built a reputable business, these agents and I work in a collaborative effort to match people and property. Step 3, we're going grassroots on this. A sign will be put in the yard, which will notify the neighbors. So often the neighbors are your best resource. They already know and like the neighborhood, and they may want friends or family to move in close by. A sign gives us some leverage for the buyers to know that not only will it be available, but when it's going on the market, so they can plan to see it the day it goes live. By the time we go live on the market, we have people waiting to see your property. During the coming soon phase, the final touches are put onto your property to get ready to go on the market. We've discussed what this entails in other blogs and videos, but basically it includes preparing your home for sale, bringing in a professional photographer or videographer, prepping the marketing pieces, etc. That kind of thing, all those little details. Then the day comes when we go live on the market. This is phase 2 of the marketing plan. For this, I again use a trifecta approach, going after the online presence, the networking with agents, and the local grassroots effort. We just go bigger in this phase. An online presence gives us a global reach. From the coming soon status, the property then transitions into a live status on the MLS and then into the syndicated websites. How an agent works to present your property makes a big difference. Before actually coming to see your property, the majority of potential buyers have been through a virtual tour. We want to make sure that this is when all of your hard work on getting the home prepared for sale pays off. Have you ever seen those homes for sale where the photo the agent took without even getting out of the car? Or the multi-million-dollar home where the agent took all the photos with their own phone? This is a disservice to you as the client. And this may be the biggest transaction that you've ever had, and the agent needs to put in their best effort. We want to put in our best effort. My expertise is in real estate sales, not in photography. It is essential that your property is presented in its best light. A professional photographer is hired to make this happen with both still shots and with video. We find there's a bigger audience when the buyers can see a video as well as the photos, and the goal is to have the house stand out amongst the competition. I also do a compelling write-up about the property. Let's introduce the buyers to your neighborhood, the schools, the lifestyle. This isn't just a house, it's an opportunity for someone to call this house a home, and it's made up of so much more than what's just under the roof. A story for the write-up on the property can bring it to life with the details. And I want to influence the way people view and buy property. We want to tap into a bit of emotion and pull on some heartstrings. Many times we're appealing to a local buyer, but so often the buyer may be from out of the area, out of the state, or even out of the country. As I mentioned before, we put the house in the MLS and then it's picked up by hundreds of syndicated websites, and this allows for a virtual tour no matter where somebody is. Social media is also used in a big way to expose the property. We want to educate the buyers with all of our marketing efforts and make sure the maximum exposure is achieved. We will then have a very purposeful positioning with our online ads. Is someone buying a home off Facebook or Insta or YouTube? No. However, we utilize the tools that tap into the algorithms on where people are searching for property, and we show up on their feeds. The house will also be featured on my YouTube channel, my website, and then you'll have a website of your own for the property. We don't want to leave any one stone unturned. Networking with agents is the next step. Other agents have buyers, and we want to work with qualified buyers and agents that know what they're doing and have the same goal in mind, and that's what's going to get us to the finish line with a successful transaction as a just sold for your house. The networking groups I'm part of are not just local, but they're throughout Southern California and the country. In addition to that, I utilize systems that tap into agents that have sold in the last 3 to 6 months in any specific neighborhood. I have access to their email, their phone number, so we can directly send them the video on your house, and then I can call to follow up after they take a virtual tour. This puts it directly in front of them, so if they have a buyer, we are on their radar. We could track how many agents actually opened the video, and this gives us insight into how much interest there might be around the house. Again, no stone unturned. On a local level, what I really appreciate about my company is that we're big, like New York Stock Exchange big, but Compass prioritizes and celebrates working with local agents around the country like me. I'm a Long Beach gal. I'm third generation, and I'm raising my kids here in this great city. With Compass, I can offer unrivaled access to amazing resources, but I can still offer an eye-to-eye contact, a lifetime of connections, as well as a lot of local expertise here in our neighborhoods. Okay, next segue on the grassroots level, we create a QR code instead of a flyer or in addition to a flyer. And this allows people to scan it and then take a virtual tour. It allows them to then be able to call and make an exclusive appointment or know when our open house is. Flyers are no longer some cheap paper. If we're going to put something in your front yard, let's make a statement with it. Let's make it stand out in the crowd. I want to send a message of value because that's what your house is. It's valuable. Open houses. Of course, this is up for discussion, as everything is in any transaction. But if you're up for it, let's go big. Let's invite all the neighbors with an invitation at their door. Let's notify them and invite them to the Saturday or Sunday open house. Depending on the area, let's host a twilight tour with some nibbles and some beverages. No matter when the open house, we want to create a buzz around the event so there's a lot of energy and excitement when people come through. Broker tours. This is another great way to access local agents and get them through the property. The house is pitched at a broker tour. I stand up in front of a bunch of people and tell them all about it, and then it's sent out to all of the agents in the city so that they know when it's going to be open and have the option to come and see it. We also do exclusive private tours. That's by appointment only. We want to tell people not just about your house, but the lifestyle and the neighborhood that you're sitting in. We'll continually update you after all these open houses, the showings, the broker tours. We want to give you the feedback that we've received because we believe that communication is so important to a successful transaction. Also, I provide what's called an insights report. We can track how many people are seeing your house. We can look at the stats so that we can push more target marketing into these areas. If they're coming from LA, let's push more marketing to to LA. If they're coming from Orange County, same thing. Again, we want no stone unturned. I hope you've liked what I've had to share and you see the value in this kind of a marketing plan. If you'd like to continue the conversation, please don't hesitate to reach out and connect with me. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you like my video, and better yet, subscribe to my page. Crystal Glenning Team.